Hey Techno Studs, there's this funny word out there called pedagogy. You don't need to know what the term means. Essentially, it's an educational term and it's about the methodologies and the way we convey information to learners. It's something that I put a lot of time and energy into studying and trying to get right, making these videos the best that I can, making all the course content so that way you learn the best. And one of the ways that adult learners learn the best is by having some sort of understanding of what they're going to learn before they actually start learning it. And so what I incorporate into my videos is overviews. You'll see that the beginning of my videos have overviews, the beginning of my modules have overviews, and the beginning of my courses have overviews. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here. We're going to go over the overview of what we're going to learn during this course. This is a high overview of what this course is all about. So I break down my courses into modules, and these are the topics of the different modules. The first thing that we're going to do is understand what cybersecurity is. So we're going to talk about security, what cybersecurity is, and that's the first module here. So just a brief look into what we're going to be learning when it comes to defining security is we're going to take a look at the security triad, and we also know this as CIA, which stands for confidentiality, availability, and integrity. And it's a way of looking at cybersecurity to make sure that we're covering all of our bases. And so this, you'll see where this applies here in a second, but just keep this in mind that we have the CIA, confidentiality, availability, and integrity. Once we defined what cybersecurity is, then we're going to go into a module that's going to talk about the threats to security. What are the things that threaten confidentiality, integrity, and availability? So we'll talk about those threats, and then in the next module we'll start talking about how do we protect against those threats. It's not going to be an in-depth module, but we'll start by opening up, talking about how do we start implementing different protection in our networks, in our cybersecurity domains. Then we'll talk about cryptography, and this is going to be a fun one. We're going to get into cryptography because that's a big part of encryption. It's a big part of how we protect our different networks, how do we protect our data. Then we're going to get into confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So we're going to take a deeper dive into each one of those and how do we have certain tools and certain resources to protect against these cyber crimes and protect against these threats from a confidentiality standpoint, an integrity standpoint, and availability standpoint. And then we'll wrap this all up by talking about how do we secure our networks? What are the things that we need to do to protect our networks and our cybersecurity domain?